Not only do I have babysitting, half the neighborhood is over right now, so I'm gonna hide in my bedroom and try to film a intro for today's video. So I have some food that I would like to make sure that does not go to waste. So I have some sour cream and some cottage cheese in my fridge that really should be used up. I know the cottage cheese had a best by date of May 11th and today is May 16th, so the first thing that I have already done is I made a it's like a 3-ingredient pancake. I found it on YouTube and I will leave it down below for you, but I tripled the batch. So I used 1.5 cups of cottage cheese, 12 eggs or a dozen eggs, 3/4 cup of my gluten-free 1-to-1 flour, and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, which was not in the recipe, but I did add it. And it comes out like a crepe. I think she was spot on about that, and the kids have loved it. So it made about 32 or 34, I lost count, I can't remember which one it is, of the pancakes at about basic pancake size, and a lot of them have been demolished as snacks, but I did manage to save some. So they are a low carb, high calorie, not high calorie, high fat friendly food. I think if I remember correctly, the carb count would be less than I think it's like 2 to 4 grams per pancake. Anyway, if that's important to you. I know that some people like to watch their carb count that watch my videos, so and I also thought it's springtime. There is a plethora of eggs out, so let me share that recipe with you. So again, 1.5 cups of cottage cheese, 3/4 cup of 1-to-1 flour. You could probably use an almond flour. I would not recommend coconut. I think that would dry it out too much. But what do I know? Anyway, so I made that. This morning for breakfast I made a sour cream coffee cake muffin with a crumb on top, and it was delicious. And I have so much sour cream, so I'm going to make it. I was hoping to try to turn my sour cream into cream cheese. My friend has done this before and she was telling me how she did it. I just don't know if I have any muslin that I can use in my fabric scraps, and my husband would kill me if I use our flour sack towels. He loves those things. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but all she did was just strain the whey out of her sour cream, and she said it turned out just fine. So you have extra sour cream. So anyway, I'm going to use my sour cream up, and I'm going to make another batch of it because that will barely dent my sour cream and cottage cheese, but it'll make somewhat of a dent in what I'm trying to do here. So let me get started on that. So today is another day back at the sour cream. Today in the food truck haul we got some blueberries. So my lovely daughter here, who's cleaning out mason jars, made a double batch of sour cream blueberry muffins, which are thebomb.com. So we did that. I took a bunch of the grapes that we had. I did offer some to the ladies from our church, but they are also graped out. But one gal took some. I think she's the one that actually ended up making the grape jelly for us the first time with all the grapes. So for one family we got 2 flats of these grapes. So she took 4 bags. 3. She took 3 bags, and then I used 4 bags to dehydrate, and I used, I think it's 3 bags to try and make a batch of grape jelly using pickyourown.org. So that's kind of what's going on today with our food prep. It's not necessarily all of last week's stuff. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I just saw, but that's what we're doing now. So you set the timer for 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
3 extra minutes for the first batch.
Okay, because when the timer goes off, that was my hint for a 10-minute start on this.
Oh.
So I just need to remember 7 more minutes after that. So anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. I had planned on making a taco casserole, but we have so many leftovers that really need to just get eaten and out of the fridge. And it ended up being a shorter day today. My husband has to leave for their catechism class earlier so he can do his practice with sermon. And then we ended up having something tonight, so we're going to kind of split and run. So because of that, it's like, let's do leftovers, which is completely fine. We have so many leftovers that need to be eaten. So that's kind of what's going on right now for today's food prep for the stuff that we need. I am making some grape jelly from scratch, and the only thing I've ever done successfully was make pomegranate jelly. So I'm really hoping this is a jelly that turns out, because my jams never seem to thicken. So here's to that one. So that's a quart of grape juice. This is how I'm doing it over here. I think I was out of it. I just have the pulp, and I'm just kind of going through the strainer like this. And I'm saving the pulp because I found somebody on YouTube that turns that into jam, but you need more juice with it. So I don't know if that'll even work, but might find something else to do with this pulp. But I don't have enough time to make grape jelly tonight, so we just put it in the quart container. That's 4 cups there, and I need 5. So we're almost at 5 cups. I think these 4 bags of grapes are going to give us exactly, or pretty darn close, 5 cups of liquid. Well, here's part of today's project. All of those cauliflower and broccoli bags that we got on the food trucks last week, I just did a quick boil to them, and I think it's called parboiling, but I don't quite remember. And I divided them up into 3 meals for us. So you kind of boil them for just a little bit, and then you put them under cold water, and then I'm just going to seal them up in these plastic bags, and so they will be ready for me to use next time I need them. Hello, it is another day in my kitchen, and today I am doing some grapes. So I took all the grapes and I ran them through my blender, and then I strained them. I think we might have gotten a clip of that, but I put them through my strainer and separated the pulp from the juice. And the juice was going to make grape jelly, and this pulp was going to make grape jam, according to what I can find online. Well, the gal from church ended up with a sick baby and needed some grape juice, and I happened to have some. So she got some fresh squeezed grape juice, and I guess it was delicious. So that was a huge blessing to be able to pass it on. And we're going to make grape jam with what is left. So that's one of the projects going on here. This needs to basically kind of boil down for 30 to 45 minutes. So in about 15 more minutes, we'll check on it, and since it's the first time, I'm not sure necessarily what consistency I'm looking for, but I do have some tips given in the recipe that I'm using. The other thing I am working on is, I know I have talked about this, I have all of the pears that haven't been eaten. We've eaten a ton, but there was a lot to work through. So I am taking the rest and I'm cutting them up and I'm putting them in my Instapot, which will hold a smaller amount, and I'm going to put it on the low setting so that I can have pear sauce, pear butter, which is something I absolutely love. I love everything pear. So that's kind of what the project is for tonight, for just making sure that the food is not going to waste. And in the essence of being real and all, sometimes we just don't use up all the stuff that is given to us with the food trucks, like the impossible burger ravioli or the impossible meat. We just don't like it. It's not very good, and we just don't feel good after eating it. So this is a leftover that keeps being the last one to get used, and I'm just going to throw it out. So, but in that effort, I do try to make sure that I am using all of what we do get and use it to the best of our ability. So that's going to be today's project. I will share with you what it looks like when I get to the next stopping point. Well, it doesn't make a ton. I think by the time this is all cooked, I may get a pint. But that's okay. It's a treat. And again, these won't go to waste. I did have to throw out some, but that's, you know, I feel pretty good that with the 40 pounds of pears we got, that maybe total 2 pears were thrown away. So, well, more like 3. I did have to throw that 1 pear away that looked pretty bad. I think I got a sliver out of that. So out of the 40 pounds of pears, I did have to dispose of about 3. But I'm excited. Okay, I thought I would share with you what leftovers we still have. Today is Thursday, and we're still working on the fridge. So I have some sour cream, so I'll be trying to do something with that. These are our cheeses, and that is almond butter. There is some French onion. This is not cottage cheese. This is actually chicken broth and butter. So that's something I can repurpose. I have 1 beet left. I have some beef broth, I believe is what that is. A neighbor gave us some of this bologna they made from some meat, I think, that they hunted. Deer meat.
Venison bologna.
And then this is something for my husband to take. This is what I made last Friday, so it'll be a week old tomorrow and should be used up. I try to get most of my leftovers out by a full week. So then we have a few meatballs left, and this is some of the mashed potatoes I made that has the cauliflower and potato mixture. These are 2 containers of rice, I should say. And I'm going to make, I already said that, I'm going to make a stir fry for tomorrow for lunch. A little bit of this mashed potato there. And this is some of my daughter's butter chicken that should be used up tomorrow for sure. So, this is what we have left insofar as leftovers. We have some grapes here and a bag of grapes there. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any grape jelly done with that. I just don't think that's going to be enough to make it worthwhile. In here we have, from all of the vegetable trays that I got yesterday, these are the sugar snap peas, and this is the broccoli. All of the carrots have been eaten. We still have 2 cucumbers left. I will probably actually use that tonight for my husband and I, so we can have some greens. And then this is all that celery. So I'll definitely be working with that. And I think that's it. So you will see tomorrow one of the things that I'm working on now for breakfast. We'll see you then. Well, good morning. It is Friday, and this will probably wrap up, maybe I shouldn't say that. Hello, it is Friday, and today I'm going to be working on all of these onions that I got from the food truck last week. And Nisa from My Small Footprint suggested caramelized onion jam, and I'm going to try that because I have so much in my freezer. I have dehydrated so much. And some of the suggestions given with how to use that was like, hey, this might be something that we would actually end up enjoying and liking. So I'm going to try that today. This isn't the only bag of onions. I have 2 more, I believe, this size. Funny thing, I'm looking on YouTube for a caramelized onion jam recipe, and Our Small Footprint pops up. So she did a video on it, and I'll leave it linked down below for you. But that is today's I am persevering in my preservation. Something like that. So, hair up. out of the face, out of the cooking, and let's go. Pieces so they go on the dicer easier, and then we just place them on and dice them through. These are storage onions, they're not fresh, they're not new crop onions, so I am having to cut away some slimy bits and things like that, which is fine. It's that it was going to be the case. It's sort of, it would do long strips. I don't want long strips, I want dices, like consistent square sort of pieces. Now these onions are worse than they would have been if I had got to them earlier, but my monthly shopping trip was... Okay, we are about, oh my goodness, we are about 45 minutes into this, and it is definitely reduced significantly. It was kind of like this mountain top, and I really couldn't like stir it like this. I was kind of making holes in it to put butter. I had 20 cups here. The one that Nisa had was 24 cups, and then the one Linda's Pantry used 20 cups. So I went with that one. I am not finding anything online for ball or anything else for this, so I am kind of breaking my own rule, but I figured this is one of those jams where you're okay, and if you follow jam processing times, you should be okay. At least that's what the canning book, my Canning Basics book says. So this just has 1 stick of butter and 20 cups of onions. I used all the onions from the bags that we got. We had some bigger onions in this basket, and I had to throw out a few of those because they had just rotted through to the bottom. But between all of that, we did manage to get 20, so that's pretty good. This doesn't have that caramelized look yet, so I'm just going to keep on reducing it. I know one of the point here is to just try to get all this liquid out. So that's where I am right now on this. Okay, I made the last of the cottage cheese up and made more of these pancakes. I know we've had them for a few days in a row now, but I'm just going to roll with it. They are now all used up, and the kids seem to like them, and I like that they are a lower carb breakfast idea. So this was a double batch, and yeah, it's definitely more like a crepe, and everybody seems to love it. So that's going to be for tomorrow morning. And the caramelized onion jam, this is kind of more just going to go in the fridge because there wasn't quite enough. It made 9 and 2 more. So 11 and almost 12. And I had everybody test it. Ooh, they're all popping. I had everybody test it to kind of give me an idea of what they like. I like it, but I do like more vinegar-based things. It just makes my mouth water, and I enjoy it. I probably would not put it on bagels, but for sure it would be really good on, like Nessa said, on some pizza and whatever. This does have more sugar in it than hers does, and I think because of that I would like hers a little bit better. The vinegar taste in here does make me concerned. I don't think my husband will like it because of that. He does not like vinegar-based stuff. But maybe once it's cooked up, especially with meats, like the vinegar, I think will help break down beef really well. So anyway, yes, I had the kids test it. I have my eldest daughter say it was okay. She kind of has a sour look at first. I think it's the vinegar. And then she's like, oh, that's pretty good, but not on bagels. So I agree with her there. My son, so the second one in line, he does not like anything onion right now. I think I have traumatized my kids with that French onion soup. And he wants nothing to do with anything onion. So he does not like it. The third kid in the house, who is also my son, or who is also a son, He really loved it. So he had 2 thumbs up on that one. My daughter, this one right here, was that a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a meh?
Meh.
Meh. And then meh. My youngest son was like, too sweet. So we got mixed reviews on here, so it'll be definitely interesting to see how it turns out on something. And with that, I think I'm going to wrap up what we do to kind of just prepare the food that we've gotten from our food trucks and make it not go to waste and use it in ways, or try to use it in ways that will help our family the best, because it does come in such a huge bulk. So thank you for watching today's video. And we've got a lot of projects going on in the background, so I'm going to go hop to it and get to that. And I think your cake might be burning.
Yes.
Are you doing the coursework tomorrow?
So I will catch you